All right, let's get right into it. For 44 years, a single playbook built a nearly $6 trillion software industry. It's a model based on dependency, on extraction, and on a systematic transfer of wealth. And it's about to be completely torn down by the very thing it helped create: artificial intelligence. Just for a second, I want you to imagine you're an executive at IBM. This is back when IBM was, without a doubt, the most powerful tech company on the entire planet. And you're about to sign a deal that won't just end your company's dominance, it's going to create your biggest competitor. So picture the scene. It's November 6th, 1980. IBM is in a total panic. Apple's personal computer is starting to take off, and IBM is getting left in the dust. And sitting across the table from them, a 25-year-old college dropout named Bill Gates. And honestly, he's just running a complete and total bluff. Gates walked into that IBM meeting with nothing more than pure audacity. He promised him an operating system that, well, he didn't even have it yet. But here's the kicker, the absolute genius move. He structured the deal so IBM could use the software, but Microsoft, his tiny company, kept the rights to license it to everybody else. IBM just saw one less thing to worry about: Gates. He saw the foundation of an empire. And that right there, that is the central idea of this whole explainer. That one lopsided deal created the template, a playbook for dependency that built the entire modern software world. And now, AI is about to run that exact same play, but this time against the whole industry. And look, IBM wasn't the first giant to completely miss the future. This is a pattern that just repeats itself over and over. Kodak literally invented the digital camera and then buried it because they were scared it would hurt film sales. Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix for $50 million, and they just laughed them out of the office. And Nokia, who owned like 40% of the phone market, called the iPhone a fad. All of them were just too good at running yesterday's business to see what was coming next. You know, that original sin from 1980, it didn't just stay in the past. It grew, it evolved into what you could call the software industrial complex, a massive extraction machine that perfected the art of trapping its customers. And there is no better example of this than a wild fight between a candy company, Mars, and the software giant Oracle. Yeah, you heard that right, the candy company. After being a loyal Oracle customer for 22 years, Oracle suddenly hits them with a license review. Mars, the customer, was then forced to provide 233,000 pages of documents just to prove they weren't breaking the rules. And you know what? It still wasn't enough. So here's the core of the dispute, and this is where it gets really crazy. Oracle made this argument that because virtualization software could theoretically move an Oracle program to any computer in a data center at any time, the customer had to pay a license fee for every single computer in that data center, even the ones that weren't running Oracle software at all. And how Oracle reacted when they got challenged? Well, it tells you everything you need to know. When Mars actually took them to court over this, Oracle settled. Fast and quietly, sealing the whole thing with an NDA. They clearly didn't want a judge looking too closely at that argument. But contrast that with a different case, against Rimini Street, where they had real copyright claims. There, they fought tooth and nail for over a decade, and they won. So the pattern is crystal clear. They only pick fights in public that they know they can win. That whole Mars case gives us a perfect window into the entire extraction playbook. It's a 5-step process. You start by stretching definitions, like what a user is. Then you weaponize audits, not for compliance, but to generate revenue. You trap customers in what we call an integration prison, so it's just too painful to leave. The goal isn't value, it's just pure, relentless extraction. But, and this is a big but, just as this extraction model got to be perfect, a new technology showed up that's about to make the whole thing obsolete. AI is that disruption. And history is repeating itself in the most ironic way you can imagine. Back in 2017, some researchers at Google published a groundbreaking paper called "Attention is All You Need." It described the transformer model. That's the T in ChatGPT. Their own invention created the technology that now poses a direct threat to their main business, search. It is the absolute classic innovator's dilemma. They built the thing that could kill their cash cow, and now they don't know what to do. And would you look at this? It's the IBM deal all over again, playing out right now. Apple, a giant, needs to upgrade Siri, so it partners with the new leader in AI, OpenAI. Apple thinks it's just getting a feature to solve a problem, but OpenAI, they know they're building an empire on the back of Apple's massive distribution. The parallels are they're uncanny. So if that old model is just a cycle of dependency and extraction, what's the alternative? Well, a totally new paradigm is showing up. It's the rise of the automated founder, a single person superpowered by AI who can now do what used to take entire corporations to do. And listen, this is not a fantasy. This is a direct quote from Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. He says the idea of a one-person, billion-dollar company used to be unthinkable. But because of AI, he says, it will happen. The people at the very top of the tech world are literally placing bets on it. And we can already see the effects. The productivity explosion is real. Research is showing that software developers who use AI assistants are finishing their work 55% faster. That's not just a little improvement. That is a revolutionary leap in what a single person is capable of building. And this isn't some niche trend happening in a corner. It is happening at an unbelievable speed. A recent survey found that 92% of developers in the US are already using or planning to use AI tools. The very people who build software have already embraced the technology that is going to fundamentally remake their entire world. So all of this leads to a brand new concept: intelligence equity. Think about it. Instead of just renting software and being totally at the mercy of some vendor's crazy licensing terms, you build and you own the intelligence inside your own systems. It becomes a real asset, something that grows in value, not just a subscription that gets more expensive every year. All of this brings us to a fundamental choice. We are at a fork in the road. That old model of renting software is on its way out, and a new model of owning intelligence is being born right now. And the choice is simple: equity or rent. And make no mistake about it, the scale of this change is it's breathtaking. Projections show the generative AI market exploding from $40 billion in 2022 to $1.3 trillion by 2032. This isn't a wave, this is a tsunami. The shift is happening, it's happening now, and it's getting faster. So ultimately, it really does boil down to this one question. The tools are here, the path forward is becoming clear. Are you going to keep being a tenant in someone else's digital empire, paying more and more rent every year? Or are you going to become an owner and start building your own intelligence equity? That 44-year-old playbook is dead. The software industrial complex isn't dying because of some big conspiracy. It's dying because something better, something more empowering was finally born. A world where you don't have to fight a vendor over 233,000 pages of documents because you own the system yourself. The age of intelligence equity is here.